Good morning and welcome to this lesson of translation into English. Today's lesson, the topic is, for today's lesson, the topic is vegetables. I understand that this could be strange, but because students were complaining that the topics tend to be difficult, so I thought of gearing down to just try to make the topic slightly less difficult so students have the ability to translate, or students can translate the paragraphs and sentences correctly. Anyways, so let's begin with just these vocabularies that are here. See, the word aubergine, the first one, it's pronounced as aubergine. Uh, Everyone in most of the countries here um, know these words as know this word as eggplant, yeah, which is correct. I'm not saying eggplant is incorrect, but aubergine is used mostly by English speaking countries or people who live in the English speaking countries. Aubergine. All right. Next is it's right here. You have courgette. Courgette. Notice that both of these words, aubergine and courgette, sound French. It could be because of the French language gave English these two vocabularies. So courgette, Gulind. You also have zucchini. Both of them mean the same thing, zucchini and courgette. Next you have bamia, which is okra. Okra. Believe it or not, most of people who live in the English speaking countries do not eat okra unless they are immigrants or have taken some culture from the immigrants who live with them. For instance, in the UK, okra is widely consumed by Pakistanis and Indians. So British people do not really consume okra that much, but because some of them have lived with the Pakistanis and the Indians and have taken some of cultural foods from Pakistanis and Indians. Now some of them eat okras, but otherwise the okra itself is not native to the British Isles or the other English-speaking countries. Next is Bazarli, which is peas. Next is nook, chickpeas. So you have peas and chickpeas. Okay, peas and chickpeas. Chickpeas nook. Okay. Next is baklik fasulye bchik, fasulye mazan. So you have fava, kidney, butter beans. Fava beans, baklik. Sometimes when you go to Duhok Dam, the area where the road that goes from the entrance to the Duhok Dam itself, you'll find people, street vendors, selling fava beans. Next is kidney beans. The kidney beans are the famous ones that everyone uses in or eats as, consumes as soup, a curry, rice and curry. And the curry itself will be the curry of kidney beans. Next is butter beans. Butter beans and kidney beans are not too different, but butter beans tend to be bigger. Tend to be really bigger, and I'm not sure if I have any pictures of butter beans here. Next is karnabit, cauliflower. Okay, karnabit. You have kerafis, celery. Kerafis, celery. And you also have ma'danus, coriander. Coriander. You have the word peas or peas. I'm not sure. Every person tends to pronounce the word used for this vegetable differently. Some people pronounce it, some people call it peas, other people call it peas. Anyways, in English, there's one word. Luckily, it's watercress. Watercress. Rashad is garden cress. Okay, so you have cress or garden cress, and then which is rashad, and you have peas or keys, which is watercress. Qurat is leek. Khas is lettuce. Kalami is cabbage. Let me, before I talk about safra and branch, bakli is chards. Some people call them Alexanders, but Alexanders are something that is not really like chards. Chards are the ones which are used in yaprach and dolma, but Alexanders, some of them do use or do put Alexanders in dolma, but I'm pretty sure people who are familiar with Alexanders know that Alexanders are not like charts. There are differences between the two. You have lentil, which is nisk. Lentil, you can say lentil soup. And the word which I jumped, the two words I mean, there's cuisine, like safran. There's a Kurdish cuisine, and there's Aubergine, which is rice and curry or rice and stew. This is known as a collocation. It means words that are used together, rice and curry or rice and stew. And again, rice and curry, rice and stew are not native to English-speaking countries, but are native to countries like Pakistan, India, and hence you have those foods in English-speaking countries. Okay, what I have here, I have two paragraphs for you, one in Kurdish and one in Arabic. The paragraphs itself, maybe it's like 3 to 4 paragraphs in one long essay-like paragraph. It's not too long, but still. I have one in Kurdish and one in Arabic. What I want you to do is basically to translate these two paragraphs and submit it via Moodle, if you don't mind. With that being said, I'm not sure if there is anything else I should say. You can see you have more vocabularies here. I'm going to post this on Moodle so you can make use of it and also to translate it. See, these are okras, these are asparagus, sweet potato and yam, aubergine, eggplants, sweet corn on the cob, mushrooms, leeks, onions, garlic, shallots, I don't know what they are, fennel, we don't have fennels here, broccoli, artichoke, cauliflower, and so on. Yeah, these are Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are like cabbage, but too small, and people tend to cook them. Yes, since we talked about cooking, the English-speaking countries, people do not eat most of these vegetables raw unless it's a salad. So, what I mean here is, I remember, not for the anecdotes, but if you eat something or a vegetable raw, people will stare at you thinking that there is something wrong. You're not supposed to eat it raw. Well, that's because in their culture, I think I've also mentioned this bit of information in the paragraphs. In their culture, vegetables have to be cooked. You cannot eat them raw. Yeah, so that was just a fun tidbit, just a small piece of information about how vegetables are eaten in our culture, in our country, and in English-speaking countries. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a very good day.